Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to part 2. Now, as we did in that handout warm-up, you realized there's horizontal and vertical translations. So, horizontal translation, we'll start with vertical. Vertical translation, y equals f of x becomes y equals f of x plus k. Now note, sometimes in the diploma, they'll take the k to the other side, minus k, this becomes y minus k equals f of x. Okay. Either way, be prepared to see that. So, if k is greater than 0, it goes up. If k is less than 0, it goes down. Now, I'm going to give you an example. So a nice example of this, y equals sine of x. Graph that. Sine wave looks like this, 0, 1, minus 1. I should be putting the x in brackets just to be careful. So what does y equals sine of x plus 3 look like? Well, it moves up 3. So instead of starting at 0, 2, it would start at 3, go up, across like that. And I should color code this, shouldn't I? Now, what about y plus 2 equals sine of x? Well, remember, we normally write it as y equals. So you subtract 2 from both sides, and y equals sine bracket x close bracket minus 2. Now, we normally write it as y equals because that's what your graphing calculator does. So everything gets moved down 2 points. Not my best drawing, but you get the idea. So that's horizontal translation. Sorry, vertical translation. Oh dear, I should remember this. Now, going on to horizontal translation. The second part of your review handout, y equals f of x goes to y equals f of x minus h. Now, h is greater than 0. You go right. H is less than 0. You go left. So, a couple of examples, of course. So we do y is equal to x cubed. That's y is equal to x cubed right there. Now, what would y equals x plus 4 cubed look like? And what would y equals x minus 3 cubed look like? Well, if you remember back to when we were doing the handout, we're looking, it's x minus something. In this case, it's 3, so we go 3 to the right. So our h value is greater than 0, so we go right 3. Same token, this is x minus 4. So we go left, 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So this is y is equal to x plus 4 cubed. Now, think about that for a moment. So if it's x minus something, it goes right. If it's x plus something, it goes left. Remember that, or have it with your graphing calculator. So with horizontal and vertical translations, you will of course get combined translations. Now, you might get something like this. Given the graph of y equals f of x, sketch the graph of y minus 2 equals f of x plus 3. Now here you have to be given the original graph, something like this. So if your original graph goes something like this, 3 and 8, note it's not an equation, it's a series of points. If you really want to be, and not my best drawing. If I could put a grid. If I could draw a grid on this, I would. Now, if that's your original graph, what's your new equation? Y minus 2. So it becomes y equals f of x plus 3 plus 2. Oh, poopy. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Make that f of x minus 3. It will fit on the graph. I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen. F of x minus 3. Mr. Sutton is getting old. Now, the plus 2 outside of the brackets means up 2. The x minus 3 means right 3. So if we take our function, we move it to the right 3. Oh, you poopy head. 1, 2, 3, and up to 1, 2. We should get something like that. Now note, I'm doing the graph. I'm not talking about the coordinate points yet. I will do that in the next part. Okay? You can't come up with the equation for the graph, so you can't graph this with your graphing calculator. So far, so good? Good. Now I'm going to go on to the slightly harder one. And this time I promise to copy out the question correctly. Now the next one the graph of the equation below is translated three units down and 2 units right. What is the equation of the translated graph? Now, this is the next step. It's a little sneakier. Give you a moment to copy this down. Once you copy down the question, I'll give you the graph and the equation to go with it. So copy the question down, please. Okay. So the graph to go with this. Here's the original graph. Y is equal to 2x squared minus 3x. Now, confirm that with your graphing calculator, please. Okay, by now everyone should have it. And remember, guys, when I ask you to do something, pause the recording. Okay, now, what do? Well, you translated 3 units down, so the new equation would be y equals something minus 3 at the end. That's the easy part. Now the harder part is 2 units right. So what happens to your x values? Well, it goes from 2x 2 times x minus 3 squared, because you're going to the right to 3 units. No, sorry, 2 units. 2 units, my apologies. Minus 3 times, switch over smidge. So all our x values get moved over to the right 2, or x minus 2, and the whole equation moves down 3. Now the problem is, you've got to figure out what the new equation is. Painful, but doable. So look at it carefully. You've got several parts. You've got 2 times x minus 2 squared, or quadratic. So let's multiply this first part out. That's 2 x minus 2 squared, x minus 2 times x minus 2. That's x times x, 2 times x squared, minus 2x plus 4. 2 times x squared minus 4x plus 4. 2x squared minus 8x plus 8. Now, that's part. The next part, that copy don't follow along. The next part, 3 times x minus 2, or sorry, minus 3 times x minus 2. That becomes minus 3 times minus x is minus 3x. Minus 3 times minus 2 is plus 6. Minus 3x plus 6, minus 3x plus 6, x plus 6. And the last part is, you're still subtracting 3. Minus 3, minus 3, minus 3, minus 3. Now you have this whole horrid equation, but you can simplify. So it becomes, let's see, there's only one x squared term, minus 8x minus 3x minus 11x, plus 8 plus 6 is 14 plus 11. 2x squared minus 11x plus 11. So that is the equation. Now, you can grab your graphing calculator and graph that. Or, what I hope you do is realize your vertex is here. You're going to the right, 1, 2, and you're going down 3. 1, 2, 3. So you should be about here. Standard parabola. Well, actually, it's sheet. That's your parabola. Should be going like that. Now, please grab your graphing calculator and check. Make certain we've got it correct. 2x squared minus 11x plus 11 should look like this translated to purple graph. Now, once you've checked, please pause the tape recording, go back and review these notes. We'll go on in the next part of the video. We'll go on to the next section.